Hey guys, it's Phoebe from Who's Phoebe and welcome back to another Doctor Who video. You have to excuse the straight hair, it's because me and the Doctor and Martha are doing some undercover work for the next couple of days and this is kind of my undercover look. Anyway, so today is a new series on my videos, Doctor Who Unlocked. I'm going to be exploring overrated and underrated Doctor Who series from both classic and modern Doctor Who as well. I'm also going to be discovering, unlocking underrated companions that I think deserve a lot more credit than they get, both from New Who and classic as well, and series that I think, and episodes that are underrated that I think get, that are underrated that deserve a lot more credit, and episodes that are overrated that I also don't think that. With overrated episodes, I'm going to be thinking, do they deserve this as much credit as they get? So welcome to Doctor Who Unlocked. So today's first episode is Series 2. Is Series 2 overrated or does it get more credit than it deserves? Now I'm going to be exploring that. So I've recently just rewatched Season 2 because someone asked me to. And I definitely think that Series 2 gets way more credit than it deserves because there's no dark themes with it like Series 1 and 2 are. Like, Series 1 and 2 kept to the whole dark theme things. And then, yes, I will be comparing these to other seasons. But I definitely think that each episode feels like it's from a different season. It's all a bit all over the place. However, I do think it brings out the best of the 10th Doctor, though. I will admit that. And there were some solid episodes in that, like The Age of Steel, Rise of the Cybermen, The Idiot's Lantern, Army of Ghosts and Doomsday. I definitely think those 5 episodes as a whole are pretty solid for Series 2, especially with it being Rose's last season and everything as well. But I also feel like that Season 2 still gets way more credit than it deserves because it's a bit like muddled, like the episodes all feel like they're from different seasons and stuff like that, and it's just not generally good. And also, no offense to the Rose haters out there, but I personally prefer Martha to Rose. Like, I mean, Rose changed a lot with the Doctor and stuff, but all she did was whinge when the Doctor was out of her line of sight, and personally I don't think that's good, personally. Anyway, moving on to my point. My point is that Series 2 is just generally not as good as people think it is. Like, I definitely think it gets way more credit than it deserves. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a good season, and David Tennant was a very popular Doctor when he first came on screen. And New Earth is a solid episode because then, like, Russell T Davies would go back and revisit in Series 3 again, so New Earth is a solid episode, but I definitely think making the Doctor and Rose a couple was a big mistake in so many aspects. I mean, Rose wasn't, like, as smart as the Doctor or anything like that, so she wasn't really the perfect foil for the Doctor personally, I don't think anyway. And I think that's the thing, like, if you're going to write Doctor Who, at least do it properly with a character. I mean, Rose was okay in Series 1, I mean, it was basic, no relationship with the Doctor in any way, shape or form. Although in doing so, she did treat Mickey awfully, and personally Mickey is one of my favourite companions, and I don't think Rose's treatment of Mickey is very well received in Series 2 either. I mean, when he asked to join the Doctor and Rose on their adventures, you clock Rose's face at the end of school reunion. She's not very happy about that at all. She's not very happy that Mickey wants to join the adventures, and it just makes her character even more horrible because she prefers being friends with the Doctor than she does with her own boyfriend. And it just makes her character so much more overdeveloped, I think, as well. Like, it makes her character more sort of like you're not really liking her personally for me, and I think that's awful the way she and the Doctor both treated Mickey. I mean, in the end, the 10th Doctor does come to respect Mickey, but Rose never would have done. And I just think it's so ironic then that out of all the people Mickey ended up with, was Martha, one of the Doctor's companions that treated Martha fairly poorly, but they both ended up getting together through the Doctor, and I just think that is so ironic because they were both treated awfully by the Doctor, so they had that connection with each other, which I just think is perfect, and it's the reason I like them as a couple. But also, the Doctor didn't really treat Martha that bad. I mean, in the Shakespeare, there wasn't really any mention of Rose until the end of Smith and Jones. There was one little mention of Rose at the beginning of the Shakespeare Code. Then there was a mention of Rose again in the Gridlock, and then obviously there wasn't any mention of Rose in the two-part Dalek thing or the Lazarus experiment. So the fact that Russell T Davies decided to give the viewers a bit of a break with the Doctor mentioning Rose thing and just focus a bit more on Martha's character development during those 3 episodes, I think is perfect. But I just don't like Rose's treatment of Mickey personally throughout series 2. I mean, it's not so bad season 1. I mean, he does help with something, but the fact that the Doctor insults Mickey by calling him Mickey the Idiot through yeah, no, absolutely not. I will not stand for Mickey being insulted by the Doctor like that. And the 10th Doctor is one of my favourite Doctors, like, don't get me wrong. But there is one side of the Doctor I do hate, the insulting of Mickey. No, absolutely no. No, don't ever insult Mickey, like, ever do that to anyone, to any of your friends. And that goes with Martha as well, because series 3 brings out the worst in the 10th Doctor. I have to agree with someone on YouTube, because I recently watched a review of that. Like, series 3 does bring out the worst in the 10th Doctor, but then again it also brings out the best in the 10th Doctor with the Daleks. Like, you can tell it's been a few years after the Time War and he still lives to regret what he did. And personally for me, that makes the 10th Doctor's character even more better. I also love the fact that Rose knew that the Doctor was the last of the Time Lords, as did Mickey, but I just prefer it when he talks to Martha about it. Like, it feels like he's actually now talking about the Time War, because I know the 9th Doctor briefly talked about the Time War to Rose, but not as in so much detail as the 10th Doctor talked to Martha about it. So in other words, I definitely think that in series 3 the Doctor kind of warmed more to Martha than he did Rose, because of the fact that she was intelligent and quick thinking, and we know how the Doctor runs, he only ever takes the best. And I just definitely think that with the whole 10th Doctor having slightly darker themes in series 3 compared to 2, it brings out the best and worst of the 10th Doctor as well. But we have to admit though, in season 2 it does bring out the best in the 10th Doctor. I mean, series 3 is one of the only seasons without a Dalek final. But I will say this, what is it with modern Doctor Who companions being so important? Because in season 1 of Doctor Who, the first season of the revival, Rose was Bad Wolf, and then that just became the norm until you get to series 3 and Martha isn't in any way intertwined in the arc, not until the very end anyway, and she's the woman who walked the earth. It doesn't make her important, but it makes her a big part of the Doctor being able to save the day, because without Martha he wouldn't have been able to do it. So it doesn't take focus off the Doctor's plan to save the day from the Master, but it doesn't take the focus away from that. But with Rose it was Bad Wolf, so it took the focus away from the Doctor saving the day at the end of season 1 when she absorbed the heart of the TARDIS. So, and then you had Donna, the most important woman in the universe, and the whole plot revolves around her saving the Doctor, the Meta Crisis Doctor, and all the Doctor's companions. What? And then Martha brought a bit of normality to back to the show, which I I love, because I'm a sucker for classic Doctor Who, and like in there, none of the companions are entwined in any plots in any way, shape or form. So Martha definitely brings back that normality in Doctor Who that we're looking for until Bill comes along, because like Bill brings normality back to the show. But my point is that in season 2, the whole bad wolf and torture thing was still like working, and Rose and the Doctor, like Rose being so entwined in the plot, making her so important, it takes that focus away from the 10th Doctor, I think, personally. And I personally don't like that. I mean, Amy being the girl who waited, again, that entwines into a lot of Doctor Who plots with the whole Pandora thing. Everything seems to be memories of her. And I mean, I'm going to ignore Clara being the impossible girl, because personally that works, but in the right way. Stephen Moffat made that work in the right way. She was born to save the Doctor. That is understandable. That's the only one I like. Clara's the only person I can overlook. Like, Clara's the only person I can overlook with the whole importance of Doctor Who, because she was born to save the Doctor, so that I get. And then obviously after that you have Bill, again, another normal companion that isn't entwined in any slot, in any plot or anything. So actually the only normal Doctor Who companions I would say in the whole of the 2005 revival are Martha and Bill, because they weren't entwined in the plots in any way, and it didn't take the focus off the Doctor saving the day. So yeah, I will admit. So season 2, in conclusion, season 2 gets way more credit than it deserves personally, and I mean, personally, if you want to watch it, I'm not stopping you, but after everything I've said, I think you guys have a different perspective on season 2 as well, and it just makes everything harder knowing that you go into season 3 with a new companion, but it's going to bring out the worst of the 10th Doctor. So actually, I personally think we should have had Martha for seasons 2 and 3, new Doctor, new companion. That way then it would establish the 10th Doctor really well, I think, as well as a person. So yeah, personally I think it would have just been better if you didn't have the Doctor and Rose as a couple, so when you got Martha in series 3, the Doctor wouldn't have treated her so awfully, personally, in my opinion. So yeah, let me know what you think of series 3 on my on series 2 on all my socials, and let me know what things you want me to unlock in this new season. And I hope you enjoy the new thumbnail I made. I'll see you guys tomorrow for another Doctor Who video.